Hey, MrHimoms, here's your astrology reading for you. I did one earlier today, but it failed to upload, so I'll just do another one. Alright, so to start off, your ascendant is in Pisces. So, ascendant is how you sort of look and your first reactions to the world. It plays just as big a part of your personality as your sun in Libra does. So Pisces will give you a soft-spoken, a nice, gentle demeanor. It makes you sometimes a little bit gullible, makes you prone to daydreaming, and you might be caught up in sort of your own little world. You might be a bit delusional. Your sun in Libra makes you value balance. You'll try to balance everything out in your life. You will have um, fine tastes and a love of romance, and I'm guessing having a girlfriend or a partner in your life is something you find very important. Now, your moon, which is also very important, moon talks about how you feel on the inside. It expresses your heart. Your moon is in Sagittarius, so people with Sagittarius are generally people with big hearts. So you love to travel, you love to explore, you love to try new things, interested in religion, and a wide variety of things, I'd assume. So the most important planet for you on your chart would be Venus, because this is your ruling planet. Now, your Venus is also in Libra, so this will make you a very Libran person. So you will definitely balance out different aspects of your personality. You'll try to balance out your work to fun to love ratio. You just want peace and harmony, and you don't like fighting or bickering. You don't like confrontations. You don't like anything harsh or mean. Now, your next planet is Mercury. So, Mercury talks about your mind, it expresses how you think and how you communicate with other people. Now, you have Mercury in Scorpio. So, Scorpio is quite intense, very powerful sort of sign, and having Mercury here will make you prone to analyze people. So you might be interested in psychology or um, like physiology or medicine. Maybe, yeah, astrology as well. Or maybe you might be interested in things like finance or engineering or things that require a lot of study and things that require digging in and finding out what finding out the essence of things, learning things to a very high degree of depth. So the next planet on your chart would be Mars. So your Mars is also in Scorpio, which is a pretty good place for Mars to be in. It means you have a lot of physical energy drive, and you need to play sport or have some way to use up that energy. um, yeah, so that's what Mars in Scorpio is. Now your next planet is Jupiter. So your Jupiter is also in Libra, along with your Venus and Sun. Jupiter generally talks about how you expand yourself physically and intellectually, and maybe through work in life, and talks about things like travel. So, Jupiter in Libra means you probably like doing things which involve some sort of design or beauty. You have interest, and you might like things like fine art or dancing, stuff like that. And watch out that you don't become too lazy, because Jupiter also talks a little bit about weight gain, and Libras love to eat fine foods. So yeah, you better watch out. Take care of yourself. Make sure you go exercise. Use that Mars in Scorpio side. And just another thing, having Libra, Venus, and Jupiter, or having Sun, Venus, and Jupiter all in Libra, gives you indecisiveness. You might not be able to make up your mind. You might take a really long time to decide what you want to do, and yeah, you might also be a bit lazy sometimes. Alright, so the last planet I'm going to talk about is Saturn. Your Saturn is in Aquarius. Now, Saturn generally talks about areas of your life where you might find restrictions in, or you might work hard towards. It's like it expresses your discipline, your inner father, just the more serious side of you. And Aquarius is quite a rebellious sign. So having Saturn in here, I guess makes it a little less stern than if it was in another place. And it also means you might be interested in things like um, humanitarian things, like making sure people get fair wages, or feeding the kids in Africa, equality between races, sex, and gender. It's very humanitarian sort of deeds. You might be um, someone who does charity work because that's what you believe in. And having Saturn here also gives you quite high moral standards, which might cause you to judge other people because yeah, you have these high standards and you judge other people who don't, maybe. Now let's talk a little bit about water rooster. So your Chinese zodiac is born year of the rooster. Now rooster is quite um, a little bit high strung, likes to show off a bit, likes to be heard, likes to be um, in the spotlight, and is also quite meticulous, quite good at analyzing things, quite good at doing fine details, stuff that requires, an eye for detail. And having been a water rooster generally mellows out these traits of the rooster a bit, so you might not desire to be in the spotlight so much, and you might not be as proud as other roosters might be. So that's your sort of basic reading. Now I'll talk a little bit about houses. So most of your stuff is in the seventh and eighth house. Now your seventh house has your Sun, Jupiter, and Venus in it. So this means seventh house is generally where relationships, marriage, partner, stuff like that. So again, you might value relationships a lot and always feel a need to be in a relationship. Be careful you don't get into relationships just for the sake of not being alone, or just, don't fall in love too quickly. And your eighth house is in Scorpio, and it has your Mars, Mercury, and Pluto. So this is definitely a very important house for you. Eighth house talks about death, inheritance, investments. So you might have a deep interest in things like the afterlife, or rebirth, learning about religion, maybe Buddhism, stuff like that. And you might also have an interest in war and yeah, just things which are very intense, very physical, or dark and mysterious. And yeah, your moon is in Sagittarius, so that might make you have a desire to travel, I guess. You might feel like, your purpose in life is to see as much of the world as possible. It's to embrace life as fully as possible, and it might also be to teach people because you, I think you will be quite smart, as long as you don't fall to laziness. And yeah, you'll probably want to teach people, share your life experiences, travel, so on and so forth. So the last thing I'm going to talk about is aspects. Aspects is basically the angles that the planets are to each other, and it relates to how different sides of you might work, with or against each other. So let's say you have, your Mars in Scorpio and your Saturn in Aquarius. This makes a 90-degree angle, which is generally something that's difficult. So you might feel like you want to learn about just one person, or you want to do one thing and do that to, the nth degree. But then having Saturn in your Aquarius will make you a bit unpredictable. It will make you, want to do maybe random things, or it might make you feel like, there's no point just studying like psychology or studying something internal, just studying one thing. You want to be doing things everywhere with everyone. You want to be doing big things in your life, things that will help a lot of people rather than just learning about, psychology and giving counseling to one person. So yeah, you might find conflict there. Other than that, though, most of your aspects are pretty good. Like, your Saturn, again, is trine your Sun and Jupiter. So that makes you, I guess, your Libra is concerned with the welfare of other people, and you care a lot about your significant other, you care about your relationships with other people. And then having your Saturn in Aquarius, again with the whole humanitarian thing, those things generally go hand in hand. Now, last thing is your moon in Sagittarius. That is at 60 degrees with your Sun and Jupiter, and it's also at 60 degrees with your Saturn. So 60 degrees is a sextile, and that is generally something that is good. Like, it works well. So with your need to care for other people, your Sagittarius has a big heart, so those things work hand in hand. And with your, your love of doing things for the greater good, your Sagittarius moon will also, embrace that. And yeah, your heart will be big enough to care about the people you love and also, you know, the greater causes. So yeah, overall, I think you will have maybe a more mellow appearance, and you will love the peace, and you will try to keep things in balance. But you also have a very intense, very energetic, very powerful side of you that also needs to be expressed. And yeah, um, that's about it. Oh, by the way, all your planets are in the top half of your chart, which makes you someone who's quite extroverted. You might not reflect so much on your life and think about, things and stay at home and read all the time. You're someone who wants to go out to work, you want to be in a relationship, you want to explore the world. So yeah, hope that helps. And if you like the video, remember to like and, favorite, subscribe, let your friends know so, I can do readings for them as well. And yeah, have a good night.